In the small town of Eldridge, nestled between dense forests, stood an old Victorian house that had long been abandoned. Its paint peeled like sunburned skin, and the windows were clouded with years of neglect. The townsfolk whispered stories about the place, claiming it was haunted by the spirits of its last occupants, an eccentric family who vanished one fateful night. Curiosity got the better of a group of teenagers one rainy afternoon. Armed with flashlights and bravado, they ventured into the manor, their laughter echoing off the walls as they pushed open the creaking front door. The air inside was damp and musty, filled with the scent of decay. They wandered through the dusty rooms, marveling at the faded wallpaper and the remnants of a life once lived. As they climbed the staircase, a low hum filled the air, a soft melodic whisper that seemed to come from within the walls. "Stay with us," it cooed, barely audible over the sound of their footsteps. They exchanged nervous glances, but their bravado held firm. They decided to investigate the source of the voice, which led them to a small, dimly lit room at the end of the hallway. The room was bare except for an old rocking chair that swayed gently as if someone had just left it. On the wall, words were scrawled in faded paint. "Don't listen to the whispers." One of the boys, Jake, laughed it off. "Just some kids messing around," he said. But the unease in his voice betrayed him. As they turned to leave, the whispers grew louder, swirling around them like a chilling breeze. "Stay, don't go." They felt an icy draft, and the door slammed shut behind them. Panic set in as they realized they were trapped. The whispers turned frantic, echoing off the walls, growing in intensity. "Help us! Please!" The lights flickered, casting eerie shadows that danced across the walls. The teenagers huddled together, their hearts pounding. "This isn't funny anymore," Sarah said, her voice trembling. Just then the rocking chair stopped moving and silence enveloped the room. Suddenly a figure appeared, a woman in a tattered dress, her face pale and hollow. "You shouldn't have come here," she whispered, her voice a haunting melody. The room grew colder, and the shadows stretched toward them like tendrils. The teens backed away, fear gripping them. "We need to leave," Jake shouted, but the door wouldn't budge. The woman raised her hand and the walls began to pulse, as if the house itself was alive, hungry for their fear. "Stay with us!" the whispers echoed, now a cacophony of voices, pleading and angry. The air thickened, pressing against them as they fought against an unseen force. In a burst of adrenaline, Sarah dashed toward the window, throwing her weight against it. To her surprise, it shattered, and she climbed through, gasping for breath as she landed on the grass outside. The others followed, tumbling out of the house, hearts racing. They didn't stop running until they reached the edge of the woods, glancing back only once. The old Victorian loomed in the distance, still and silent. But as they stood there, they heard it again, the soft whispers drifting through the trees. "Come back. We're waiting." From that day on, the group never spoke of their experience, but the whispers haunted their dreams. Every night they could hear the voice calling them back, a reminder that some houses never truly let go of their past. And sometimes curiosity leads to a darkness that binds you forever.